Yes, thanks very much. This is why we love football. Occasions like this, a Battle of Britain comes to the World Cup finals as the two teams head onto the pitch. The familiar scene now, the huge World Cup Jules Rimet trophy in the middle of the pitch on a purple background, and to my right a huge England flag, and to the left the Dragon of Wales. Two teams take their places in front of us in the main stand, and we're about to have the anthems at the Ahmad bin Ali Stadium. The Red Wall don't normally disappoint on these occasions, and they haven't tonight in this huge stadium. The band are also out of sync on that one. So here we go then. Let's give you the teams for Wales against England here in Doha. 3 changes for Wales. The first one in form with Wayne Hennessy suspended, Danny Ward in goal. Then across the back, Nico Williams, Chris Mepham, Joe Rodon and Ben Davies. Ethan Ampadu and Joe Allen at the heart of the midfield. Gareth Bale on the right, Dan James on the left, Aaron Ramsey and number 10 in behind Kiefer Moore. England make 4 changes. Carl Walker comes into their defence. Jordan Henderson into the midfield. Phil Foden and Marcus Rashford go up front. Familiar names all. Pickford in goal. Across the back, Carl Walker, John Stones, Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw. Jude Bellingham, Jordan Henderson and Declan Rice in midfield. Phil Foden on one flank, Marcus Rashford on the other, and Harry Kane leads the line as he swaps pennants with his former Tottenham loan colleague Gareth Bale, with Slavko Vincic of Slovenia the referee tonight. He refereed the Europa League final between Eintracht Frankfurt and Rangers. The VAR official is Marco Fritz of Germany. As Bale and Kane pose for the pre-match photos. Almost everything is out of the way now as we line up for this Welsh battle against the old enemy. For the third time at the Ahmad bin Ali Stadium, Wales are here. It's been dubbed the Battle of Britain. For Wales, it's a fight for survival in Doha, and it's not entirely in their own hands. So get ready. This could either be a finale of what's been an unforgettable journey to get here for Wales, or it could be one of the greatest nights in Welsh football history. We shall see. Remember the scenario: for Robert Page's men to qualify for the knockout round, they either have to win by 4 goals or claim a victory here and hope that Iran and the USA draw in the other Group B game, kicking off just down the road at the Al Thumama Stadium. It's the 104th meeting between these two sides. Wales have only won 14 the last time, as you well know, back in 1984, when Mark Hughes, a Welsh legend, scored on his debut. We're about to get the countdown for this game to start. Both sides take the knee. No room for prejudice or discrimination in our global game. Wales kick off. If you don't believe in miracles, well, maybe now is a good time to start. Wales are playing from left to right. Red shirts, white shorts. England, white shirts and navy blue shorts. And it's a Wales throw down their left-hand side, which Ben Davies looks for Kiefer Moore. It's cleared into the midfield. Kane goes looking for it, but Joe Rodon, his Tottenham teammate of sorts, he's of course Joe Rodon is at Rennes, but what a task he has tonight to keep Harry Kane in check, the England captain. Ball is bouncing around the Wales midfield. Ampadu got a foot in. England keep it in. Kane though puts it straight out, and let's bring in Jess Fishlock and Nathan Blake.
Well, KG start, Nathan, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. Look, they've switched to a back 4, which I think a lot of people are calling for, with those 2 holding midfielders in front. And it's going to be really interesting how this first 15-20 minutes pans out. I think Wales just have to stay calm and make sure they don't concede anything and don't let England build any sort of momentum in the game.
First touch for Danny Ward. Of course, replaces Wayne Hennessy today. Stones tries to break out of a defensive position. This is Maguire in front of his own penalty area from Manchester United, of course. Harry Maguire, first touch for his United teammate Marcus Rashford. And England, of course, know a draw should do it for them, but they'll have half an eye on Iran and the USA. They will want to win this group to probably avoid the Netherlands, who've won Group A, and Senegal, who finished second. So if England win the group, then they would play Senegal in the round of 16. It's 0-0 here on BBC Radio Wales. 2 minutes gone. KG start, Nathan Blake.
Yeah, really important that Wales, try to make sure that this man on the ball right now, John Stones, doesn't get too confident, because he starts so many England attacks, and he's had a really good tournament so far. If anyone, let Maguire have it more often than not. But without Trippier bombing down that right hand side, we've got Carl Walker there today. But he is the key man for England from the back. So Wales just need to be mindful of that.
Yeah, at the moment in a defensive mode inside their own half, as Shaw feeds Rashford on the left hand side, takes on Nico Williams, takes him inside, blocks just inside the Wales penalty area. Ramsey gives the ball away with an audacious little flick. Bellingham picked it up. This is Shaw, goes back to Maguire inside his own half. 0-0.
You can see Wales are just sitting in a mid-block, trying to just slow down England. I think if they just keep playing it around the back, it's okay, but at some point you have to get pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, first 20 minutes, just sit in, try and frustrate. You know, hope that, you know, John Stones in the past, you know, many years ago, yes, but we have seen a mistake in him. Harry Maguire, can we expose him down in this flank? These are the little things that I think, you know, attention to detail, Wales have got to have worked on.
Kiefer Moore puts pressure on Maguire. Rice drops into a defensive area. Ramsey slides in, stabs in a foot for Maguire to collect. First touch for Jordan Pickford.
Yeah, just keep hunting the mistake if you're Wales, keeping a good shape. Moved up the pitch now. Like Jess said, you're in a mid-block. Don't keep dropping, just, you know, whenever the occasion arises, the opportunity arises, make sure you put pressure on that ball.
Long ball forward looking for Rashford, takes a touch. Williams thinks it's gone out, and it had. Williams actually nicked the ball off Rashford. What about Nico Williams playing down the right-hand side then, Jess?
Yeah, I like it. I think Nico has really good energy. He's good on the ball, can put good crosses in, defensively solid. And I think, you know, look, you don't like to chop and change so much. You don't like to leave players out. But I think over the last couple of games, I think keeping him and putting him at right back and having Connor drop out is probably the right call.
Mistake by Bale then. It's given the throw into England down their left-hand side. Luke Shaw of Manchester United takes a bit. Joe Allen nips in to nick possession. Read that really well, couldn't hold on to it. But then he steps in again, feeds Ramsey. Ramsey has it taken off him by Declan Rice, but I think Henderson caught Joe Allen late then. 0-0.
Yeah, he's such a good reader of the ball, of the play, Joe Allen, and no real right to win that first one.
His first start since September the 17th when he got injured a hamstring against Hull City in the Championship. Bale chasing possession in the England half. It's with Shaw. Moore puts pressure on him. Bellingham tries to free himself from Allen. England, of course, started with a 6-2 win over Iran, and then were frustrated by the USA 0-0. We'll keep you up to date with how it's going in the other game. Crucial that for Wales to stand any chance, unless they get 4 goals, which you'd have to say is probably unlikely, but let's not give up hope yet.
Yeah, unlikely but not impossible, Robert. Just like where Wales is set up, yes, we're only 5-6 minutes into the game, but you know, you do get the feeling sooner or later there's going to be a mistake and this sort of thing can happen, and then it's about making sure that you can take advantage of it if you're Wales.
Ramsey fouled by Declan Rice. A lot of criticism for Gareth Bale and Aaron Ramsey after the first couple of games, but I think some of us felt, Nathan, the setup wasn't really suiting either. Maybe this will suit them better.
No, I think Wales need that platform, Rob, up front, and I also think they need that that solidity in midfield of having 2 midfielders, 2 holding midfielders. I don't think you can get away with, you know, 2 number 8s or an 8 and a 10 and a 6, so to speak. I just don't think we're capable of that. Maybe against lesser nations, but this is a World Cup finals.
They look comfier anyway, don't they, already?
They do. Kiefer Moore. Bale tries to thread it through to Dan James. Took a deflection, I thought, but gone out for an England throw, taken by Kyle Walker, who's playing his first appearance in this World Cup, and of course he was injured at the start of October, so the injury worries aren't just restricted to Joe Allen.
Some great matchups though, aren't there? Dan James, Kyle Walker, Ben Davies, Foden, Nico Williams, Rashford. Great matchups all over the pitch, especially in the wide positions.
Davis hoists the clearance into the England half. It's headed into no man's land by Stones and picked up by a scurrying Dan James. Mepham out to Nico Williams. Allen on the ball again. Ampadu's probably been Wales' best player in this World Cup so far. Switches play, looking for Dan James, just a little above the diminutive Fulham lone player, and out for a throw. 0-0.
Yeah, if you're Dan there, you want to be pulled out right on, the touchline. Old Len Ashes used to say, get your boots, get the heel of your boots on the white lines.
I like the look though. I like the look from Ethan.
Yeah, it looks more solid, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a great look.
Don't speak too soon, you two, will you? Please. 9 minutes gone, 0-0. But you're right. Maguire.
Just watching Joe Allen, talking to young Nico Williams, organising him, when to tuck in around the centre backs, when to stay wide. If he's 2v1, don't panic.
Walker drilled it at Bellingham. Even the prodigious Bellingham couldn't control that. And then Allen gives the ball away, and it's Kane, and he's put Rashford through the middle. Good save, Danny Ward. Came to the edge of his box and made sure Rashford couldn't get it on goal. And that was a big moment in the opening 10 minutes. Wales were cut apart then by one pass, but Danny Ward, he was in the right position starting off, and it's still 0-0.
Yeah, it's a really good opportunity, wasn't it? One-on-one. It's Harry Kane just holding in that pocket again, not playing up against the central defenders. Just dropped in, and the ball fell to him, and instantly gives an assist to his teammate. And you would say Rashford in that situation, we've seen him for United this season, finishing those frequently.
Yeah, but I think Danny Ward came out real fast. He saw it and was really off his line and closed that gap. So credit to Danny Ward, I think, there.
That's why he's number one in the Premier League at the moment, Jess.
James darts out to that far side, but Walker wins the challenge. This is Foden dribbling towards the Wales penalty area. Kyle Walker thought about crossing, dinked in by Henderson, cleared away by the Wales defence, bounces over Kiefer Moore. Stones read that. England building a bit of momentum, but still goalless here in Doha. 10.5 minutes gone.
Yeah, those that can happen a few times. What just happened with Kiefer there, as the ball breaks out, he's going to try and be in the right position, back in, win a free kick, hold up the ball.
I've seen that a few times in this World Cup, though, where the ball bounces higher than some players expect. And let's face it, it's got to bounce pretty high to bounce over Kiefer Moore, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's just he wasn't sure to go, make sure it didn't bounce or wait for it to bounce, and he's just caught in two minds there, Rob. But it just helps build momentum if you're England, so just got to be aware of that. The little things, little details that you want to get right. If you're in a striker position, just sit up against the centre half if you have to.
Yeah, it's got to stick with the game plan that Wales are playing. It is absolutely vital that when it goes out, when they clear it, that it sticks.
Wales' most capped Jess Fishlock alongside Nathan Blake here on BBC Radio Wales Sport. Davis reads a crossfield ball, hooks it into midfield. Henderson, the England vice-captain, plays it back to Jordan Pickford, so far untroubled. This rivalry started a long time ago in 1879. There'll be nowhere more contested, no game more contested than this one. So much on it. Remember, Wales need a win to have any chance of making the next stage. It's with Mepham of Bournemouth, 15 yards inside his own half. Now he steps forward up to Nico Williams down the right hand side. Williams curls the ball inside, looking for the run of Bale, but that was shadowed by Maguire, and it was through to Pickford anyway. Stones and Walker. They're back to Everton's Jordan Pickford. Yet to make a mistake, I was reading, which led to a goal against England. And this is his 48th cap, which is some record.
Let's hope you put the commentator's curse on the show, Rob.
0-0. Walker has it, switches play out to Shaw, good ball as well. Manchester United Shaw chests it down left hand side. Nico Williams blocked it. Referee says it was a handball, answers Luke Shaw's appeal.
Yeah, going to be really important that Gareth gets in and helps young Nico there, especially with that kind of switch of play, because that's the sort of ball that takes Joe Allen out of the game, in the sense that he can't recover that quick. It was a great ball by Walker, crossfield pass.
Just seen a replay of the Ward save, really good save, out quickly, good 16-17 yards out from his line. So it's an England free kick, 12 yards from the right corner of the Wales penalty area. Shaw's left-footed, Rashford is stood over it as well. The Wales defensive wall is along the edge of their penalty area, as you might expect. Bellingham hovers in the D. Shaw pulls it into the penalty area, headed away by Kiefer Moore, comes back out to Foden, 25 yards out, shoots and drags it well wide. Still 0-0. Jess Fishlock.
Yeah, I still like what Wales are doing. They're just making England try and break them down, and they're looking for the transition, obviously, and they just need to be a little bit faster, a little bit more quality in the transition phase from defence to attack. And look, they're only going to get a couple moments of that throughout this game. They're not going to get 5 or 6 of them, but they're going to get 2 or 3. And I think if they can get their quality right in those moments, they can hurt England. And you see how important transition is. That's how England got their chance. It's a transition moment. It's so important.
Poor clearance by Danny Ward. Nathan Blake, you were pointing at something.
Yeah, I was saying the difference was in the first game they were doing that, and the second game also against Iran. And Wayne was kicking the ball, and the two centre-halves hadn't left the 18-yard box sometimes, or were just outside it. That's how they got done against the USA also. This time, Danny Ward, it's a poor kick, granted, but waits until his team are up, halfway line, his centre-backs are up, set, and, no danger then.
Ethan Ampadu snuffs out danger on that left-hand side, ball in behind Ben Davis. But Ampadu was a cross England throw, which will be taken by Kyle Walker of Manchester City, about 10-12 yards from the corner flag, into his teammate Foden. Tries to dribble through 2 or 3 Welsh shirts. Ramsey was there, back out to Walker, clips it back for Rice, who plays it even further back for Stones on halfway. Now Maguire inside the centre circle. England playing right to left, white shirts, navy blue shorts. Wales keeping a defensively solid setup at the moment. We played 16 minutes at the Ahmad bin Ali Stadium. It's a really pleasant evening. It was slightly cooler today than it has been. A bit cloudy. We're all a bit disappointed, but it's all relative. As Kane flicks on a ball, Shaw beats Bale to it, and then Kane gets pulled down by Mepham.
Yeah, Gav just got caught on his heels there a bit. Shaw just quicker to it than he was.
And this is danger. Kane felt that. He's been an injury worry to England, Harry Kane, but when you're only 2 goals behind Wayne Rooney for an England goal-scoring record, and you haven't got a goal yet in this World Cup, and you're one of the favourites of the Golden Boot, you want to play. So there are 4 England players stood around this. The free kick is about 9 yards from the Wales penalty area. 2 stood in front of the ball. Rice and Shaw behind it.
A lot of discussion. I'll be surprised.
There's a conference going on, yeah. Henderson.
This is obviously off the training ground. I just wonder what it is. There are people in the war, which I didn't think you could do.
Don't have a word, Jess, so you can find out.
I need to read the rule book, I think.
So there's 2 in front of the ball. The Wales wall of 4 is just inside their own penalty area. It's to the left of centre, and Wales are looking perplexed about what's going to happen here. Could be Rice, could be Shaw. There's a touchback for Rice, who clips it up for Shaw. chips her over to the far side. Maguire was looking for it, and it's a goal kick.
Yeah, I think that was what we call overcomplicating something.
Well, I think the free kicks are often done by Martin Margetson, who of course is a Welshman who was part of the Welsh setup in the Euros in 2016. He's officially the goalkeeping coach. There's the former Manchester City and Cardiff City player.
Yeah, was it left central, about 26, 27 yards out? It was a perfect distance to hit
Shoot,
one.
yeah, you got to shoot.
Got to shoot there.
Absolutely got to shoot.
Ward clears, Moore flicks on, James chases it, Stones just pokes
That's the
out
sort
a
of
foot.
situations we want though, Rob, right? It's Daniel James in a foot race against Harry Maguire or Stones.
19 minutes gone, goalless here on BBC Radio World Sport. Don't forget, call Rob after this programme. And that's an awkward back pass for Ward to deal with, but he does, and he slices up the clearance looking for Nico Williams. Shaw got there first, big boot up in the air by Mepham. Moore heads it on. Now Iran are playing the USA in the other game. Andy Legg, what's happening?
Yeah, not a great deal, Rob. Decent game between both sides, but USA just edging it. They're a couple of crosses gone in from Serginho. Pulisic had a header on target, but it was an easy save for the goalkeeper for Iran. But Iran trying to hit the USA mainly on the counter-attacks, but it's still 0-0 and it's 18 minutes gone.
Okay, they're slightly behind. That's not something we want particularly, but they're slightly behind in that game. But it's still goalless between Iran and the USA. And remember the scenario: Wales either have to win by 4 or win and hope that game ends in a draw. It's 0-0 here at the moment between Wales and England.
Yeah, just communication, those little details, Rob, ends up with these sorts of panic situations.
David.
You know, Mepham free header, Danny Ward behind him, no one running in behind. So simple, and they're arguing about it now. You know, you can just flick that back, or he could have let it go. It just takes the sting out of the game, stops any sort of momentum, like I said. You know, good communication, centre back to goalkeeper, so important.
Carl Walker brought down by Kiefer Moore.
I think too, the very first time we have a transition moment and it sticks and we get one or two passes together moving forward, and we're gonna scare.
We need that
Stoke.
threat,
Yeah,
right?
we have
That's
to.
what we need.
Every time it's gone
It's
up
too
right now, we
comfortable at the
haven't been
moment.
able to have one pass, let alone 2 or 3 to get Bale, Ramsey, Dan into the game, and that's why Kiefer's so important. He has to hold that ball up.
Rice marks his way through the midfield, touched by Foden, out to Walker. Henderson joins in 15 yards from the left corner of the Wales penalty area. Wide to Walker again on that far touchline. England playing right to left. Now it's with Maguire on the edge of the centre circle. Fluent passing from Rice to Shaw. Rice almost ran into traffic, but he got there. And Bellingham, who we've not seen too much of, lays it back for Shaw to curl into the penalty area. Foden's free on the Henderson's free on the far side. Just bounced over his head, I think. This is Rice central now, encouraged to shoot by the England fans. Low ball into the Wales penalty area and carved away for a throw-in.
Yeah, Wales got dragged across there from left to right. Jordan Henderson at the back, all on his own. Rob just misread the bounce. I think you made a point earlier about the bounce being a bit lively. Luckily in that occasion.
Midway through the first half, goalless. It's a foul that time by Ben Davis on that far touchline on Henderson. The referee Slavko Vincic goes across. As I said, he refereed the Eintracht Frankfurt Rangers Europa League final last season, which Aaron Ramsey doesn't remember too fondly. Put him on very late as a sub just to take a penalty, and he missed. Hasn't yet had the chance to influence this game. And at the moment Wales are having to defend this free kick about 8-9 yards from the corner flag on the right hand side. It's curled into the penalty area, now goes over everybody. Bellingham will, Rashford will keep it in on the near side. He's got Joe Allen for company, goes inside, Rashford hits it. Whoa, Nico Williams got right behind that. And hit him, don't know if there's flash in the face, but
he's headed it, Rob.
He's headed it and he's gone to ground. Good thinking by him.
No, it's one of those stingers, mate. It's
actually going to hurt a lot.
Yeah. Just sends you spinning a bit, that one right on the top of the head.
So Jess Fishlock, Nathan Blake, 23 minutes gone, goalless here on BBC Radio Wales Sport. Thoughts, please?
Game plan working so far, Rob. Simple as that. Could be a bit better in an attacking sense, but the longer it goes, the more frustrated I think England will become. And I don't expect us to create a lot of chances in this first half. Like Jess said, we want to create a few scares, maybe get a corner or two, but the longer it goes, I think we will come into the game more and more and more. Listen, we don't have to win it in the first half, we just have to win the game. It's as simple as that. So all good so far.
Yeah, I agree. I like the shape. I like what we're making England do. England's not a team that want to go long. They want to build up, they want to make passes, and so that's why our shape is really important, because we'll slow them down. But it is going to be throughout the game, are we able to find our feet with the ball, with transition, with controlling it a little bit when we get it. Right now we get it, we lose it, we get it, we lose it. But what is not hurting us is our shape is very good behind the ball, and so we just have to, as the game goes on, find our feet in those transition moments.
Yeah, what you hope, Rob, is as it goes longer, we're able to keep our shape, and England make a few mistakes, so in transition you are able to really counter-attack and take advantage and create those moments that leave the England defence or the England players in a bit of a panic situation. Just build a little momentum yourselves.
You almost hope they get a little bit too comfortable.
Yeah, too confident.
Nico Williams is waiting to come back on. He's recovered. Just saw a picture of the great Ian Rush watching in one of the posh seats. FAW ambassador. Second now, of course, to Gareth Bale in the Welsh scoring stakes. Bale on 41, Rushy on 28. And of course, like so many other Welsh greats of the past, never qualified for a major tournament finals. England start moving again, but this time good tackle by Mepham, and the ball is chipped up this near touchline. Keeper Moore can't control it. He just got the wrong side of Harry Maguire then.
Yeah, just want to break these lines if you're Wales. Just once or twice, just let them know, we've got an attacking threat also. Like Jess just said, a little too comfortable at the moment.
Sure, nowhere to go on that throw-in, so takes another one, finds Kane, back to Bellingham, hooks it outside of the boot to Foden. Bounces momentarily from this really impressive 22-year-old. Clamour for him to start, and the English press have got their way. Davis, though, gets across the shield, a ball down the Wales left, gets nudged over, wins the free kick, and it's 0-0. So far, so good. 27 minutes gone. Although you'd have to say, Jess Fishlock, Wales haven't threatened yet.
No, and look, for now, that's okay. That's okay, because England have had that one chance that was actually our giveaway. They're not creating too much right now. And like I said earlier, we have 90 minutes to win this game. You'd rather it be 0-0 now, and we still haven't had one moment, than trying to force an attack and get exposed. But I would like us to just be a little bit more composed and better on this ball, especially going forward.
Gareth Southgate's in yesterday. As far as he was concerned, it was a sporting rivalry only, although he did say he did think that the feeling may not be mutual. It was a bizarre question asked of him, why are you rivals? And he said, well, we're here and they're there.
Yeah, I think he was being a diplomat.
I think he was.
I think if you look at England in any sport, they enjoy beating us as much as we have been.
Moore's run into
them.
traffic and lost possession. That's a really good challenge back by Aaron Ramsey on Harry Kane, and then Williams nicks around Kane and he's brought down on halfway. Well, Page gets worked up by that. It was Jordan Henderson who came across and just dragged down Nico Williams.
You do need to try and get that switch of play in. Those two players in the middle of the park, Joe, Ethan, need to get Dan James into this game a lot more. That's the threat, that's the pace. We haven't seen it so far, but we are 28 minutes into the game.
He's loitering on the left touchline, played the ball inside first time, couldn't find keeper Moore. Then he goes into John Stones, takes him out. That's going to be a free kick to England. This game littered with free kicks so far. And it's tense out there, isn't it? You can tell. And Dan James is going to get a yellow card first of this game.
I don't think we need Dan James coming that deep to get the ball almost in a wing back position. He just needs to be high on the line, in behind.
Got there a bit late and made his presence felt. 0-0. BBC Radio World Sport, we've been with you every kick of the World Cup campaign from its very start to what we hope will not be a climax tonight.
In fairness, we haven't seen much of Gareth, and we haven't seen much of Dan. Those are two players who are going to have to get in this game, especially in an attacking sense, doing a good job defensively, but really need to try and do something to get those two players into the game, or they need to get themselves into the game.
Ampadu and James swapping passes on that far touch line and losing possession. A little bit too intricate. Henderson blocked as he tried to thread it forward, bounces back into the England half. 0-0. 30 minutes gone. Shaw tries to pick out Bellingham. Good challenge by Nepham, and then Bale slides in, but it goes straight to Rice, centre field, midway inside the Wales half. Looks at Foden. Davis tried to get there, missed it. Then Henderson sends Foden wide. England building down that right hand side. Foden. Shaw is up as well. Stones crossfield to Maguire just outside the centre circle. Now he drives forward, big unit. Harry Maguire into the Wales penalty area, and I don't know whether that was a shot or a cross, but it's gone up for a throw-in on the far side.
That was a shot, Rob.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
He's showing him no mercy there,
Nathan Blake.
Yeah, absolutely. The way he's lifted off, watch his lift off after if he hits it. Right, that's never crossing there. Why would you lift off? When you shoot and you're trying to get a lot of power in it, maximum power, you lift off after you shoot. He's done that there. I think he's tried to cut across that with his left foot and got it all wrong.
There's a throw in to Wales, deep in their own left back position. They haven't made much progress. And then Mepham flicks it forward, but then it's played easily for Danny Ward to collect. Let's find out what's happening between the USA and Iran. Andy Legg.
Yes, USA dominating the game at the moment, Rob. It's 31 minutes gone. Timothy Weah just had a great chance, but he took a header on instead of letting the ball drop. And it's definitely USA on the front foot. Iran virtually hardly in the game at the moment, but 31 minutes played, still 0-0.
They tend to come to life in injury time, Andy Legg, as far as I can tell. Iran 0-0 there, 0-0. Not full by any means, as Maguire finds Pickford, the goalkeeper, totally untroubled yet. 33 minutes into this game, but Wales have looked solid so far. Stones points to where he wants to put the ball and goes square to Bellingham. Maguire forward to Shaw. He's got Rashford on his outside. Walking pace at the moment. Shaw makes a run, but cut out by Mepham. Allen up to Ramsey, touch for Ampadu.
Yeah, those are the
situations
you've got to release Dan's got to be looking to go first or second pass there. Dan James just give the ball away cheaply.
Rice engineers the ball out to the right hand side. Mepham heads it up from the
It's a great header.
penalty area and out for an England throw.
I don't understand why we're going short in a transition moment.
Well, one or two passes and the idea should be release Dan James.
Exactly. Up, back, out.
Now I wonder whether Nico Williams is suffering from that knock on the head he had. He's gone down with nobody near him. I think the referee was pointing to his head as well. And if he feels giddy,
Little concussion, let's hope not. It's the sort of thing that could happen, Rob.
he sat on the ground on the edge of the Wales penalty area. There's a bit of a conference going on the side,
Connor
and it
Roberts
looks
is
like
coming on.
Burnley's Connor Roberts is going to come on for Nico Williams. 35 minutes on the clock, and it's a real blow for Nico Williams, the Nottingham Forest youngster. He got his head in a way of a fierce drive, and he's still not fully recovered, you can tell.
Hit it him right on the top of the head, and that's painful. It's really painful.
Helav and Hada, I heard God Save the Queen earlier. Helav and Hada now being sung by the Welsh Red Wall, who've made such an impact here in Doha. The bucket hats have been one of the features of the World Cup, along with thousands upon thousands of Argentinian and Ecuadorian, I keep saying it, and Brazilian fans. Now, what is happening here?
Well, I just seen him on the monitor saying I'm alright, but
I'm not sure they can take a chance tonight.
Yeah, they have to. I would say they're on the side of caution. When you go down, no reason. I know he's disappointed to come off, but
No, he's got to come off.
Yes.
If he's not alright, he has to come off.
Sean Conley, the head of medical, I think is advising that he should come off. Connor Roberts waits, and it is, I think Nico Williams' game is up. After 35 and a half minutes, he looks absolutely devastated, but you cannot take a chance. You just cannot take a chance with head injuries, and he took the shot flush on the top of the head. So Connor Roberts, who started the first two Wales games, comes on as a substitute in the third. Nico Williams is consoled by Rob Page, and Roberts immediately has to take up a defensive position. Long throw coming into the Wales penalty area. Plenty of red shirts back there, and they win a free kick anyway. What difference does that substitution make, Nathan Blake?
well, Connor's going to have to just work his way into the game. And if Connor, you have to be, defensively sound and disciplined. You're up against a top player in Marcus Rashford. I haven't seen too much of Marcus, in fairness. So you want to just keep that structural sort of solidity going. Try and get into the game as quickly as possible, get to half time. But it is difficult.
Okay, well, Wales have the ball near the England penalty area. Back to Moore. Moore goes to ground. Looked as if he was caught late, but the ball had already gone, and England are allowed to attack with Foden down the right-hand side. Lovely bit of play, puts Bellingham into the penalty area. Foden shoots over the top.
Yeah, good football, wasn't it? Again, first time we've been caught in transition there. Gave the ball away. Might say it was a free kick on Big Kiefer Moore. Went down a bit easily for me, but England were away, and some great footwork by Jude Bellingham. Foden on the turn, just can't keep a shot down, high or wide.
I think Mepham did just enough then, didn't he, Jess Fishlock?
Yeah, he did, and that's how good England are. They from their box into your box, chance on goal in probably less than 6 seconds, and we just have to be aware of that. We have to know that that's what they can do, and maybe just foul them a little earlier. That's what I would do.
Ward finds first touch for Connor Roberts into Bale. Bale slips past Maguire. Short is there, but the pass out is picked up by Ampadu. Ampadu drives towards the penalty area. This is Ramsey, thinks about shooting, lays it on for Allen, blocked. And it bounces out of Rashford. The game is more stretched now. Rice made the block. Now he's accompanying Rashford as Rashford drills forward. Kenny Redshirt's now back though. First shot in anger really by Wales. Ramsey setting up Joe Allen. Cross into the Wales penalty area, and a shot, a back flick by Marcus Rashford. You saw Richarlison do that. And there's been a goal in the USA-Iran game. Andy Legg.
Yes, Pulisic has got it. It's Dest on the right-hand side. He's causing all sort of problems, but Pulisic put his body on the line. He's taken a big blow, to be fair to the lad, and he's put it in the back of the net. And it's now USA 1, Iran 0.
So that's bad news for Wales. At the moment they're not doing enough anyway. It's 0-0 here, but USA lead thanks to Christian Pulisic, the Chelsea player. Header inside the England penalty area, almost bounced into the path of Ramsey, couldn't quite get there, and then Ampadu slides in a challenge, but it's broken by Henderson, who wins a header as well. Bellingham into Foden. Foden slips past his man, feeds Kane towards the penalty area, wide for Rashford. Rashford tried to return it, and Connor Roberts is there in the nick of time to concede the corner.
Yeah, just losing our shape a little at the moment. 30 odd minutes, 32, 33 minutes, done really well with our shape. And substitutions just unsettled us a little. We're caught twice now in quick succession on the counter. I think what we've got to do, Rob, when we're in the ascendancy, we have to come away with a shot on goal or a corner or something to keep the ball in their half, in the England half.
Phil Foden corner from the left-hand side. There's 3 English players stood around the Welsh penalty spot. Stones, Kane and Maguire. How dangerous Maguire can be in the air. Foden's hit it to Maguire. Header inside, picked up by Allen initially, then he loses it. Rashford goes for it. And Davis has to head it behind for another England corner, this time from the right-hand side. 0-0. Wales under pressure here. 5 minutes before half-time. Or at least 5 minutes from the end of the 45.
They got to keep it. They cannot concede before half-time.
Absolutely, Jess.
That has to be their number one priority.
Corner coming in swinger this time. Headed out by Rennes Joe Roden.
Yeah, and if you're Connor, you've just come on, like I said, Rob, it is hard to get up to the pace of the game. Just sit, just don't worry about going forward, just sit. Got Metman inside you, you've got Joe Allen, he can organise you as he was with Nico Williams. Just sit, because you've got a real dangerous player in Marcus Rashford on his left-hand side.
Bellingham wide to Shaw. Rashford again. 20 yards from the corner of the Wales penalty area. Maguire. And Wales will be relieved it's gone all the way back to Pickford. 42 minutes on the clock. Goalless on BBC Radio Wales Sport. Call Rob to follow. 03700 100 110. Text 81012. Tweet at BBC Radio Wales. At the moment, England and the USA are going through in this group.
Yeah, Aaron Ramsey doing a really good job as well, just stifling in midfield.
He's so much more comfortable in this 10 role.
Yeah, just sitting on Declan Rice every time, which is really stifling the England attack, as I said.
Stones dribbles up towards the halfway line. Passfield to Maguire. Maguire has to stretch. Emma Rohid. As Maguire looks at the run of Foden. Can't keep it in though on the byline. Out for a goal kick. 0-0.
Yeah, that is a ball they're gonna have to be careful of second half though, Rob, as the legs tire. Been dragged from the left to the right and seen Henderson get in early on. Just got to make sure don't fall for that overload. A good shape so far from Wales. If you're looking over the 45 minutes or the 43 minutes, done really well.
Ward hits it long. Connor Roberts wins the second header, picked up by Kane. Ramsey
Well done,
shoves
Ramsey.
in a foot,
Oh, that's a bit harsh.
and the referee right there penalises Ramsey. Didn't actually get the ball, I don't think. It's his 78th cap tonight. Aaron Ramsey moves level with Craig Bellamy, ahead of his good mate Joe Ledley. Although they weren't such good mates when former Celtic player Joe Ledley knew he was going to Rangers, Aaron Ramsey. Crossfield ball finds Shaw by the head of Allen, that one. Bellingham into the Wales penalty area. Ramsey was there at the vital moment. The blocker, it breaks to Rashford. Rashford inside the box now, down the left-hand side. Bellingham, step over, tries to take on Roberts. Roberts gets back, gives away a corner. England are starting to turn the screw with a minute left of the 45. It's 0-0. Foden with the corner from the left-hand side. Remember, USA leading Iran 1-0. Need that to be a draw. Wales need a goal, but they've got to defend. Stay in it until the break. Corner's floated across, headed back in by Rashford. Two Wales players go for it. Comes out to Bale in the left-back position. Davis hits it long, looking for James. There's Bellingham back there on halfway though. Maguire stayed forward, under pressure from Ampadu. Now Walker, 20 yards inside the Wales half. Bellingham prods it across to Stones, who's out of the centre circle. Shaw down the left-hand side. It's been one-way traffic, I have to say. Wales have only sporadically been in the England half, but they'll take this at half-time. And Ward collects an ambitious ball forward. Nathan Blake.
Yeah, just need to hold out these last 5 minutes now, Rob. Get in, get your refreshments, get your breather, get your instructions. Like I said, Connor Roberts, come on, it's done well. Caught high once or twice, but settled in nicely now.
Well, if you're just listening at home, just get your breather and get your refreshments.
Yeah,
you don't have to take too many instructions.
Do we need a bit more from Gareth and Dan James on the flanks, though?
Well, James comes in effectively there. Allen and James swap passes in the centre field, and Walker had tracked James and brings him down on halfway. There are 5 minutes of added time. We played a minute of that, and it's 0-0 at the Ahmed bin Ali Stadium here in Doha.
Just spoke about performance before the game, and I have to say, Rob, this is...
It's been so much better, hasn't it?
It just, haven't looked empty in the middle. We've hardly spoken about Ethan and Joe Allen. They've just done such a good job.
Ward hoists it long. Nowhere near Kiefer Moore, but the header is going to be picked up by Roden into the path of Ampadu. Now Mepham. Pressure from Harry Kane. Connor Roberts on a substitute for Nico Williams. Goes back to Ward again. Clips it out to Davis on that left-hand side. Walker sized that up though.
Yeah, look who's picking the ball up though.
Joe
Rob.
Allen again. How long can he last though, Nathan Blake, would you say? Oh, he's giving the ball away. This is Kane, centre field. Shaw. Pass across the Wales penalty area and they smuggle it away. Looking for Kiefer Moore, but Maguire read that better than Moore. Plays it into Shaw. Kane wants a shooting chance. Took a deflection off Mepham, goes out for a corner.
This is the problem Wales are having right now, is they don't know what they want to do when
the
they have
counter,
no, exactly.
absolutely.
They don't know whether they're coming feet, whether they're going in behind, and I can't quite understand why we're not just wanting to get at the pitch.
Yeah.
It's been 3 times on a row now. The front players are not moving early enough. They're not moving fast enough. We're just getting caught in between, and we have to figure out what exactly it is we want to do, what we're trying to do.
Foden corner, left-hand side again. England's aerial threat prominent. Header back across goal. Ward collects it on his line, hands above his head. And it was Stones who dragged wide. Ampadu has suffered from that as well. I think Stones might have headed Ampadu, or at least the heads collided. But Ward was solid on his line. Plucked the ball out of the air. 0-0. 2 minutes of added time to go, Nathan Blake.
Yeah, like I said, Rob, about a minute ago, just need to keep the shape. Simple as that. Just get to half time. Done well. Conceded a chance on 8 minutes with Rashford, and that aside, okay, Foden's had one on the spin which he hit wide. About 35-36 minutes, but that aside, there hasn't been a lot to talk about from England either, and the longer the game goes on, the frustration kicks in.
Ward found more. Ramsey's helped it on to Roberts. Rashford and Roberts don't see eye to eye as Roberts tried to pick up the ball. It's a throw into Wales, level with the England penalty area. Referee is having a word with both of them. Just handbags. Now, is there a sting in the tail at the end of this half? Bale wants it short, but I think Roberts fancies a long one.
Yeah, needs to be a bit closer.
Oh,
clever
he's
play.
played it back to Mepper, was found. Allen inside the penalty area. Allen shoots and curls it wide.
Nice,
Left-footed. It was a nice move, actually. It just wouldn't sit down for Joe Allen, and he's hoisted that well wide.
Yeah, it's different though, isn't it? Everyone's lined up for the long throw. Conor Roberts sucks everyone in. Just a little clever one. Throws it back to Joe Allen and hits one on the left foot.
Well, it's goalless after 45 minutes. You've got to say England have had the better of the half. They threatened most. Danny Ward had to make a really sharp save as Marcus Rashford was put through. Just Wales started to bare their teeth at the end of that half with Allen's floated shot well wide. And of course in the other game, USA are leading Iran. So at the moment, Wales are going home this week. But it's a much better performance so far, and there's still some hope. It's Wales 0, England 0.
Goalless at half time then in the Ahmed bin Ali Stadium. Rob Phillips there mentioning well, not quite dominance by England, but plenty of the ball. Certainly 75% of the possession, 8 shots on goal compared to Wales's 1. Jess Fishlock, I want to delve into something you said which concerned me a little bit, and it should concern Rob Page really. Wales don't know what they want to do when they have the chance to counter. Surely 3 games into a World Cup, having qualified, they should know exactly what they want to do.
Yeah, I know, and it looks that way, and it feels that way, and I'm sure it feels that way for them. I don't know if when they win it they think they have a little bit more time, so then they're like, oh, okay, like let's start to build this up now. But they don't need to do that. They've been in real good situations where they can secure the first pass and then either hit a diag to the open player on the opposite side of the field, or go channel to make England go backwards towards their goal and get some territory. But they're just not kind of doing that fast enough, or they're just not on the same page. And it is a concern that they don't exactly know what that looks like right now. But hopefully at half time they can just get around each other and be like, what are you seeing, what do you need, and figure that out for this second half.
We'll find out shortly enough. Nathan, very quickly from you. There seems to be a platform for Wales in this. We know England are a dangerous side, but you mentioned it beforehand. They are under pressure. They're expected to steamroller Wales.
Yeah,
I mean pressure not in the game, but pressure from their own fans.
I don't think they expect to steamroller Wales. I think, if I'm honest, Chris, speaking to a lot of the pundits earlier, they know. They were so surprised at the change in performance from, Iran to the USA. Iran, they were fantastic. USA they were average, and they were worried. I'll be honest with you, a few of the press boys were worried that they were going to churn out the same sort of performance today. Well, they haven't. They've dominated possession, but Wales have allowed that. That's what you want if you're Wales. Player for player, they are a better team than you, so you allow them to dominate and just don't give them anything. And Wales have given them hardly anything apart from that Marcus Rashford chance on 8 minutes. There hasn't been really much to talk about as far as England attack. Now you've stifled their attack. Now for Wales, like Jess said, it's just about now getting something going yourselves in attack. So I'd like to see a bit more from Gareth Bale, get him in the game a bit more, and I'd like to see a bit more from Dan James. Dan should just be thinking to himself, right, as soon as they get it, it should be 1-2 touch passes or 1 or 2 passes in midfield, and whoever it is, don't care where they are, they're looking for the diag for Dan over and behind the right back. Simple as that.
Right, a bit more from a few players, says Nathan Blake. Plenty more from Blakey and Jess Fishlock. Second half commentary on the way. It is half time in the other game in Group B. It is USA 1, Iran 0, but only just. We will hear more from Andy Legg, who's been watching that. Don't forget as well, whatever way it goes tonight, there will be Call Rob coming up after the game. You can get your calls in after full time in this Wales match on 03 700 100 110. Text 81012. Tweet at BBC Radio Wales. They will be on until 10 o'clock from Qatar before Eleri Sean takes over with her late show. That is all to come on BBC Radio Wales tonight. But we've got far more to come in the second half, right after we get the latest Radio Wales news with Sean Howell.
On FM,
digital radio,
and on BBC Sounds.
This is BBC Radio Wales.
BBC Radio Wales News, and the top story, of course, the football. Wales are drawing 0-0 in their crucial World Cup game against England at half-time. In the other Group B match, the USA are beating Iran 1-0. People have gathered and candles have been lit at a vigil in memory of 2 babies found dead at a house in Bridgend. South Wales Police are still questioning 2 men and a woman in connection with the discovery in the Wildmill area. Detectives were given an extra 36 hours yesterday to hold them on suspicion of concealing the birth of a child. A man has been arrested in connection with the deaths of at least 27 people as they tried to cross the channel in a small boat last year. The National Crime Agency has named the man as 32-year-old Harim Ahmed Adu Bakr, who's alleged to be a member of the group that organised the crossing. Only 2 of the passengers survived. The BBC's Paris correspondent Lucy Williamson reports.
A significant arrest and says Mr. Abu Bakr is suspected of having played a key role in the manslaughter of those who died last November. Leaked documents recently suggested that French Coast Guard operators did not respond to the boat's initial call for help by sending rescuers as promised, but instead told passengers to call the UK, even when the boat appeared to be in French waters.
Nursing staff across Wales will take part in the Royal College of Nursing's biggest ever strike next month in a long-running dispute over pay. Members will walk out for 12 hours on December the 15th and December the 20th. Nurses will also walk out in England and Northern Ireland. Emergency care won't be affected. Camilla, the Queen Consort, has warned of a global pandemic of violence against women and called for an end to what she described as these heinous crimes. She was speaking at an event at Buckingham Palace to raise awareness about the threat of domestic abuse. Campaigners at the event warned that the cost of living crisis would increase the numbers needing help. BBC Radio Wales. For an update anytime, ask your smart speaker to play BBC News for Wales. It's just after 3 minutes to 8.
Your team for Welsh sport.
This is BBC Radio Wales Sport.
Thank you very much, Sean. Welcome back. BBC Radio Wales Sport. Chris Wathen with you. Half time in the big one. A bit more patience and pride about Wales so far. It's England who've come closest in this World Cup derby, but Wales are still in this.
Wales kick off. If you don't believe in miracles, well, maybe now is a good time to start. And then Allen gives the ball away, and it's Kane, and he's put Rashford through the middle. Good save, Danny Ward. Mepper was found. Allen inside the penalty area. Allen shoots and curls it wide.
Level at the break, but there has been a breakthrough in the night's other game.
Dest has made the run, trying to get in behind Safi. Pulisic! Christian Pulisic scores for the United States, and Pulisic at some personal cost has put them in front.
This is BBC Radio Wales Sport.
Yeah, welcome back. So, it's not going Wales' way so far. Wales 0, England 0, USA 1, Iran 0. 2 goals change everything, though. A long way to go. We'll be with you for it all. Let's get the latest on that US game. Don't forget, in case you're wondering why you were paying so much attention, if Wales are to progress, then they need to beat England and hope there's a draw in the game between USA and Iran. Andy Legg has been watching this one. Andy, look, USA dominating, really, but only 1 goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm surprised that VAR didn't have a look at a last goal by Timothy Weah. I thought he'd run his timed his run to perfection to got in behind him. It was a fantastic finish, but VAR didn't even look at it. So it could have been worse for Wales. It could have been 2-0, but thankfully it's still that 1 goal, and we only need 2 goals to go through.
We will find out if that comes. Andy is going to get himself a coffee to make sure he's going cross-eyed, trying to keep across both the Wales game and the USA-Iran one. It could be the most important one. You never know. As it stands, I should point out, England will top the group on goal difference ahead of the USA. Going into the second round, that would mean England would face Senegal, runners up in Group A, on Sunday. Group A winners, the Netherlands, would take on the USA on Saturday afternoon. That's because the final games from Group A were earlier. Senegal beating Ecuador by 2-1. The Netherlands beating Qatar by 2-0. Cody Gakpo with his 3rd goal, going level with Enner Valencia and Kylian Mbappe, if you're interested in the Golden Boot. All very tight, isn't it? A little bit more straightforward in terms of tonight's permutations. Anita Asante, former England international, has joined us in the studio, part of the Match of the Day Wales team tonight. Good evening, Anita. How are you doing?
Evening, Chris. I'm doing very well, thank you.
Good. I hope they've made you feel welcome in the Match of the Day studio tonight as the one English representative.
They have. I left my England shirt at home, but yeah, they've been very welcoming.
You're quasi-Welsh. Can we call you that? Because you've made South Wales your homes.
Absolutely. I have a connection to the Welsh community now. I feel that feeling, that good feeling since I've been here.
So you're the perfect neutral then, I guess, in this situation. There's no St George painted on your face. So you can say that. Look, from your point of view, Wales are still in this, but England will be ruining some, not missed chances, but that they haven't made more of their possession.
Yeah, absolutely. I think England, the expectation is that England should dominate and they should score goals early in a game like this. But I think we have to give credit to Wales. They've been very disciplined in their shape. They're making it difficult for England, who are trying to utilise, moments in the game where they create opportunities in the final third, but they're getting blocks to the ball. They're making tackles. Chris Ward made a fantastic save early on. So that's definitely going to spur them on and give them some hope.
Jess Fishlock, part of our commentary team out in Qatar, saying she's getting frustrated because she's saying when Wales do manage to break down those England attacks, they're not being quite purposeful enough with what they do next with that transition and getting it forward quick enough, basically, to make that counter effective.
Yeah, I would agree with Jess, actually. I think there are moments when they win the ball, they work super hard to get the ball again, and then they need to know where their next pass is going, where their spare man is, so that they can hold the ball up, potentially higher up the pitch and then get numbers forward to really be more effective in that counter-attack situation, because England are expecting to have the ball and they're committing numbers.
Going to give us a prediction how this next 45 minutes are going to go? You don't need the win as an England supporter, do you?
No, like I said, I have a good connection with the Welsh fans, and it'd be great for them to get a goal. But I think it'll be a tight one still. I think probably 1-0 England.
Yeah, well, 1-0. Wouldn't be good enough for Wales, would be good enough for England to top the group. Whatever the score, you can watch all of tonight's highlights, including in this USA-Iran game, on BBC One Wales at 11:10, Match of the Day Wales. Anita representing England alongside James Chester and Sam Vokes. Anita, thank you very much. Right, what do the fans make of it? Sean Penner has been in Colwyn Bay all evening. The music's bouncing. What's the optimism like, Sean?
I think people are quite optimistic. It's been pretty tense, to be honest. I'm tense anyway, and I'm here with Paddy and Oshan. Now, you've been playing a different sport just before coming here. Tell me, Paddy, what have you been doing?
We've been training for RGC.
So Rugby Gogledd Cymru. So yeah, been using the oval ball. What are you thinking of the round ball? What are you thinking of the football tonight?
Yeah, well, we've just caught the last 10 minutes of the first half, and we're looking good. To be honest, I reckon there's good chances.
Yeah, there was a chance right at the end there. How are you feeling? I've been following the World Cup all along.
Yeah, it's been good. We've watched every match, to be honest. Yeah, it was unlucky at the end there. Looking good though.
Yeah, 0-0 half time. That's probably quite positive for Wales, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but we do need to push on and try and get the win. So we'll just have to see how it goes.
Where's that going to come from, do you think?
Up front, hopefully. Midfield, maybe. Try and push on.
Well, there we are. Paddy and Boshan, thank you very much. And the tension continues here in Parc Areas.
Not just in Parc Areas. Sean Pennard, Colwyn Bay and the fans. Well, thank you very much. A little glimpse into how the fans are seeing tonight's game. Aaron Ramsey is in the tunnel. The Wales players are coming back out onto the field. Enough time for us to get a quick half-time reflection from Jess and Nathan. Jess, are you confident that, well, they need another Rob Page team talk compared to that US game?
Yeah, look, I think they'll be coming back into the second half now with a kind of different game plan. I think there's the substitutions that's been made from our side. So we'll see now what that does for us going forward. Look, we've got 45 minutes now. We need to take the game a little bit more to England and need to have a little bit more quality when we win this ball. But I wouldn't change the shape or our discipline or anything right now.
Rob Phillips brings the details of that substitution very quickly. It looks like Brennan Johnson is on. Nathan, quickly, can he make a difference for Wales?
Yeah, I think he gives you more legs, obviously, Rob. I know we say wait for the moment for Gareth, but we just haven't been nowhere near their half or their box enough, so that moment I doubt it's going to come. Plus I seen Gareth stretching his groins, which we know we have problems with. So yeah, those legs should come in handy the second half.
Here we go then. We waited 64 years to see Wales in the World Cup. There might only be 45 minutes left, or is there going to be a twist in this story? Let's find out. Nathan Blake, Jess Fishlock and Rob Phillips.
Well, there have been plenty of twists in the journey so far. Is there one more, or maybe two more? One in the USA game, who are leading Iran 1-0, and here Wales 0-0, but now without their 111 record cap holder Gareth Bale. He's been replaced by Brennan Johnson. Like Nathan, I saw him sort of with his hands on his knees just before half time, and I wondered then whether that was a sign of a problem. We always wondered whether he could play 3 games in a row. Well, now the man who saved Wales so often, or perhaps we're going to get a glimpse of the future now. Long throw taken by Davis as Wales play from right to left towards the red wall now, who will just be taking in that Bale has gone. Jess Fishlock, thoughts on that substitution?
Yeah, look, I'm not surprised. In the first half I kept seeing Bale hold his leg, hold his groin or his thigh, or and stretching it out, and to start doing that this early in the first half of any game means that it's going to be a difficult second half. So he's probably gone in and said he's done, and that's fine. We have Brennan Johnson to come in now, and I think we just have to see what we can do. We have a little bit more pace now.
If you look Shaw, you're thinking, I don't want to see this kid running up me. Right? That's the worst thing you want.
Ramsey has space, looks for Johnson. Edge of the box, Johnson can't control it. It was a little nudge on the aforementioned Luke Shaw anyway. So Wales now have Ward in goal. Across the back, it's Connor Roberts who's on for a concussion substitution, we think, for Nico Williams. Chris Mepham, Joe Roden, Ben Davis. Then in midfield it's Ethan Ampadu and Joe Allen. And now Aaron Ramsey is playing in behind the front line of Dan James on the left, Brennan Johnson on the right, and Kiefer Moore up top. No changes yet for England, but a significant change, that one, for Wales.
Yeah, and that little foul just said there, Brennan Johnson, the diag, Rob. We've got the option to diagonal pass both sides now, and that little nudge in the back of Luke Shaw just lets him know, right, you've got a different threat now this second half. I'm going to be trying to get him behind you as often as possible.
England looking to get in behind Ben Davis here, but he's solid with a header. Breaks to Walker though. And Walker forced back by James, so England have Pickford in goal now. Walker on the right, Stones, Maguire and Shaw. Then Rice, the holding midfield player, alongside Henderson. And Foden is causing all sorts of problems, running at the Wales defence. He's gone to ground and the referee took his time, but Slavko Vincic gives England the free kick. Just to complete that lineup, Bellingham is in behind a front line of Foden, who caused all sorts of problems there. Rashford and Kane. Well, I don't know whether... I'm not sure, actually, that Joe Rodon actually touched.
No, he didn't. He didn't touch him.
Put his leg there.
He's absolutely bought that. And, that's part of the game.
Yeah.
He's there, he's overran the ball, he's taken too many touches.
He's bought it.
He's bought it. He's bought it. And he's switched sides now with Rashford. Foden and Rashford have switched sides, so that'll be interesting to see how he deal with the
it's
switch.
a big ask for Connor, because now he's up against a proper winger.
He is. So there are 3 England players around this free kick, which is no more than 5 yards outside the Wales penalty area, to the left of the D. Could this be a significant opening to this second half?
Set up for Rashford, isn't it?
Rashford has taken a few steps back. Shaw is there as well. Shaw now moves into Henderson now moves into the middle. Rashford hits it and drills it home, and England have the lead. It's Marcus Rashford. The free kick will be hotly contested, but Wales's World Cup hopes are drifting away here. A massive blow delivered by the old enemy at the start of the second half. It's Wales 0, England 1.
Yeah, and if you're Wales, it's a fantastic free kick. As I said, it was set up for him, great position, just left of centre for a right footer. But if you're Wales now, don't capitulate. Try not to concede quickly. England are going to get up and come at you. Just try and hold it and make sure you don't concede a second over the next 10-15 minutes, and try and get yourself back in the game.
Well, Marcus Rashford's second goal of this World Cup. Free kick bent around the wall and around Danny Ward. And that has delivered a huge blow to Wales, who are up against it anyway. Without Gareth Bale now, what has this Welsh side got? Is this the end of the World Cup journey for Wales? They need a miraculous recovery here, and they need Iran to equalise against the USA. They're giving the ball away, they can't capitulate now, but it may be. Foden makes it 2-0 in a minute. They gave the ball away. Kane placed it across the Wales 6-yard box, and Foden drove it home gleefully, and that surely sent Wales packing now. It's England 2, Wales 0. A devastating 2-goal blast in just over a minute.
Yeah, that's just what they couldn't do, Rob. They couldn't concede that left-right combination. Straight back to back. The first goal goes in by a free kick. You just have to keep it tight, and that's just the worst thing that could have happened to this Welsh team. They really have to dig in, make sure they don't concede again.
It's a blink of an eye, Jess Fishlock, a blink of an eye.
Yeah, it is, and a lot of people always say that when you score a goal, the next 5 minutes are crucial, and I have to wonder what we're thinking in these moments. We've just conceded, we have the ball, and we're trying to play, we're under pressure, we're playing short. This is another transition moment for us. We've conceded a lot of transition moments throughout this World Cup, and I think it's something that we really have to look at.
Well, it was Ben Davies of all people who dwelt on the ball in his left back area, and Kane took advantage of a challenge, and now Foden is running free on that far side as Bellingham breaks into midfield, and England have really got the bit between their teeth now. and this could get ugly. They've got 2 goals in just over a minute, and they're flying into the next round of the World Cup, as they so often do.
Yeah, just keep your head now, Rob. You know, even if you lose the game and you lose it by 2 goals, okay, just keep your head, because you know, this England team, we've seen them against Iran, when they get their tails up, they can be rampant, Rob. And that's the last thing that would kind of sum this World Cup up for these Welsh players. But, you know, bit of pride now. Just hold on in there. Can they get themselves a goal, bring it back to 2-1? Or worst case scenario, it doesn't go beyond 2-0.
Ampadu slides in the ball in behind the England defence. Maguire is forced to put it out for a throw-in, taken quickly by James down the left-hand side to Ramsey. Nothing much on for Ramsey, and it's just all fallen apart for Wales. Remember, USA are leading Iran anyway, but England had been on top, but without
Look at the press now, Rob.
Yeah.
The press is totally the pace. Foden has just done about, you know, 3 or 4 20-yard doggies there, just on the press. They're going to hunt mistakes now. Oh, great touch.
Little flick by Brennan Johnson to Ramsey. Starts a counter down the right-hand side. Curls it into the box. Looking for Kiefer Moore. Hits it too long. Picked up by James, left-hand side. James onto his right foot. Curls it beyond Pickford. And out for a goal kick and beyond the far post as well.
That's unlucky, Dan James. It's a great effort, I have to say, Rob. Like to see that a lot more from him. He tacks down left-hand side, tacks Carl Walker, and then steps inside him on his right foot. Just bends one to the far stick. And had Pickford in all sorts of trouble. Scrambling, diving, just wide though. But good response from Wales.
2-0 though to England, and there's still 35 minutes to go. I was talking to a seasoned England watcher at half-time who's saying probably just waiting for the cavalry to go on. Some of the substitutions that they feel they can win the game late with, they may not need it. As Moore shoots, oh, I don't know, it really swung from distance from
Took a little
Moore.
deflection, I think,
hit
Rob.
Declan Rice, I think.
Pickford had to push it away, and Wales are starting to, it did take a wicked deflection. Pickford did well to push that away. For Wales' first corner of the game. It's come up to 55 minutes here on BBC Radio Wales Sport. Can they get a goal back at least? Ramsey goes short from James on the left-hand side. Now James curls it in right-footed beyond everyone, headed out, and there's a flag up on the far side anyway, and Wales' momentum is blocked, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, like Jess said early on, Rob, in the first half, it was about restoring pride, performance, and, you know, take 1 minute out of this game. Well, we 57 minutes, take 1 minute out, and, you know, it's been a really good performance. Yes, we're 2-0 down. Can we go and try and get back in this game, nick a goal? If not, like I said, you don't want to get it beyond 2-0. And we're at the stage now where it looks like Gareth Southgate's going to ring the changes.
Yeah. Gareth Southgate thinking about Senegal at the weekend, I'm sure. Trent Alexander-Arnold is going to replace Carl Walker, who, as I said earlier, was in recovery from an injury anyway. Harry Kane is making way for Callum Wilson of Newcastle, so Kane won't add to his 51 goals. And Declan Rice is also being replaced by Calvin Phillips of Manchester City. Andy Legg, what's happening in the other game?
Well, Rob, Iran are trying to get a little foothold in the game now. It's just that a great header from Goddess, but he put it over the crossbar. It was a great opportunity for him, but it's still USA 1, Iran 0.
Okay, well, it's Doesn't mean a lot anyway with Wales losing. Remember, they had to win this and hope that other game ended in a draw. Well, neither scores going their way, and actually Ben Davies is looking in some distress as he's laying on the ground having treatment. Ben Davies was tackled really well, gave the ball away, and Kane made the most of it. Rashford made the challenge on Davies. It bounced off him to Kane, who put it across the face of the 6-yard box, and Foden fired home from close range. His third goal for England and his first World Cup goal, having his other two previously come against Iceland in the Nations League. Ben Davies is going off. And it looks like Ben Davies is off, and it's Joe Morrell who's coming on for his first. Well, actually he did play, didn't he, a substitute, but he's on for another World Cup appearance. Proud moment for him. His mother is here, saw her in a cafe in the week. And it's 2-0, and Connor Roberts is now going to swap over to the left-hand side, and Ampadu is going to go to right back. Jess Fishlock.
Yeah, interesting change there, but already he's made 2 great challenges, so I think he'll be fine. He's had a great tournament, so
someone else is just going down.
Yeah, that's
actually,
Ampadu again.
Is Ampadu. He's just holding his mouth then. Nepham up towards Allen.
Just a bit worrying, this disruption, Rob. These couple of injuries, quick goals. For Wales now, you just need to get yourself back in the game, settle it down a bit. And these England players come on, eager to impress, trying to get more goals. For Wales, you know your competition's over at this moment, so like I said, just don't want to concede anything.
They've lost their last 6 to England since that Mark Hughes inspired win in 1984. It looks like Sparky will be bothered every time England play Wales to talk about that goal on his debut. James now, left-hand side, tries to out-sprint his former United teammate Marcus Rashford, but Rashford just muscles in. And now the break is on, but intercepted by Morrell. Ramsey was in late, and Aaron Ramsey is going to get a yellow card.
Interesting sprint, little tussle, wasn't it? And Dan James and Rashford there. Regression shown in Marcus Rashford. Seen that in his game this season for Manchester United, and took no prisoners there.
I think that was a nasty challenge.
Jordan Henderson got him late on the ankle. I wonder whether VAR may look at that.
Yeah, that could be trouble. That's an ankle break, I'm afraid.
Remember on Friday, Wayne Hennessy initially had a yellow, and then it was changed to a red by VAR. I think Harry Maguire might be asking the referee whether they are going to look at that. Henderson is still down, but there may be another change in the offing for England. They will not want to take any chances as they're comfortably ahead 2-0. Don't forget, call Rob after this game, 03700 100 110. Looks like the World Cup swan song for Wales, but what a journey it's been. Your thoughts on what has happened in Doha? 03700 100 110. You can text 81012. You can tweet at BBC Radio Wales. Vicky Blight is back with us to read out your texts and tweets. Nathan Blake and Jess Fishlock are staying up here alongside me as the inquest goes on down below us, and we'll get your reaction to all the action during that programme. 03700 100 110. Give us a call. You can speak to Jess Fishlock and Nathan Blake. What else would you want in your life?
A Welsh win.
Okay.
Sharp.
Yeah, that was sharp. Fair play, Jess. Morel, left-hand side. Back to Roberts, operating at left back. And now Roden has been caught. And of course, reminding that I don't think the Nico Williams substitution will count as a sub, because it's a concussion sub.
Yeah, Wilson just headbutting the back of Roden's head there.
Yeah. Callum Wilson probably got the nod over Ivan Toney, didn't he? The late call into Gareth Southgate's squad. Looking at what you've seen in this competition already, Jess, where do England rank as contenders, would you say?
Yeah, look, like I said, the biggest strength of England's team is not just how talented they are individually, but the depth that they have. The game changers, you know, even still now they have players still on their bench that are fantastic players, and so yeah, I think they've got to be up there as favourites alongside France and Spain. You know, the usual kind of teams with Brazil and Argentina at this point.
Well, unless you've lived on Mars for 60 odd years. They did win it in 1966. Yeah, honest, they did, Nick.
Did they?
Yeah,
Honestly?
they did.
I've never heard that before, Rob.
Yeah, beat West Germany at Wembley. They thought it was all over. It was then.
Yeah. Was that goal that was or wasn't over the line?
Well, yeah.
That's why the VAR came in. English insisted after that.
Another England change. Kieran Trippier, one-time Madrid's neighbour of Gareth Bale, is replacing Luke Shaw. And Brennan Johnson, beware, because of course Kieran Trippier had a season at Atletico Madrid and he came back a Simeone defender. And no prisoners are taken when Simeone's your coach. Wales have moved up field successfully with a long ball forward, which has gone up for a throw, which Conor Roberts will take. The Crynant Cafu, as they call him. Don't think they call him that in Burnley, mind. On the ball now is Roberts up against Trent Alexander-Arnold. Into Allen, who's lasting the pace well so far. 65 minutes on the clock. Ball back by Morel to Ward. Ward under pressure from Wilson, hits it long. Roberts puts pressure on Alexander-Arnold. Bit of head tennis being played in the midfield. Breaks to Allen, touches it down for Morel. And Roden turns back to Ward. 2-0 England lead. 2 goals in just over a minute from Marcus Rashford and Phil Foden. It's comfortable for them now. That's why they put on a posse of substitutes. Would a Wales goal make them just a little anxious, I wonder? I'm thinking probably not, Nathan Blake, but
yeah, they need, they only need a point, Rob. But I just looking from the Welsh perspective, a goal for the fans would be fantastic, for the players. Okay, if they go out and, like I said, lose 2-1, they will feel, this sort of performance against the likes of Iran and the USA would have stood them in good stead to qualify. But it wasn't to be. It hasn't been the case. They've waited till the England game to probably put in what has been the most disciplined performance for sure.
And maybe they got the shape right.
Yeah, maybe you're right, Rob. Maybe you're right.
Call Rob 03700 100 110. Is that a key factor? Although Rob Page would point out, well, we got this far by playing 3 centre backs and 2 wing backs.
I think honestly, formations are much of a muchness nowadays. It's all about your roles and responsibilities, and do you know what your job is, and are you executing your job to what the team needs? And we just kind of saw it again there. Mepham had the ball, he had loads of time, 1 second.
Now Rashford's already got one goal right hand side into the Wales penalty area, sets up a shot, and it's gone in underward. Rashford has got his second. It's 3 to England, and we're only halfway through the second half. Marcus Rashford, well, he just took a chance, but if you don't buy a ticket, you don't win the lottery. And it's even worse now for Rob Page's men. It's England 3, Wales 0.
Yeah, Connor just caught it slightly too high, and with a player like Rashford, who you know is quicker than you, Connor's gone half and half, like he was going to close down Trent Alexander, and that's all was needed. 5 yards, Rashford's in behind him, and then cuts him, turns him inside out, really, unleashes a left foot shot on target. It just goes through Danny Ward. Disappointing as well from Danny. Want to get his foot on that or something, but yeah, poor goal to give away.
Yeah, Ward will feel culpable for that, won't he? It's drilled hard, but it goes through his legs, off his right ankle, deflects into the net. It's 3-0, and now it really is all about damage limitation without Gareth Bale, Jess Fishlock.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's 3-0. We still have not managed to find a way to get this ball up the field with any quality anywhere near England's goal, and it has been something that we have struggled with game after game after game after game. And I think it's something as a group they'll need to really look at for the next campaign, is what are they doing with the ball and what do they want it to look like.
And you do wonder just how much of a transition is now required. Because it's clear that Ramsey, I think, has done all right tonight, but Bale is declining in his powers, although he scored the 1 goal for Wales at this World Cup. Long ball forward, looking for Kiefer Moore, tries to chest it down and turn. James follows up, but again England have the answers. This time it's Calvin Phillips. Roden heads it into midfield. Allen collects. Ramsey curls it out towards Brennan Johnson, right hand side. Does he get the wrong side of Trippier? He does, into the penalty area. Can't find Moore with a misdirected cross. Clear up towards Wilson. Nepham shadows him, and Wilson drives it up for a throw-in.
Yeah, you can see the threat in behind though, can you? Brennan Johnson down that right hand side, he is a threat. Just couldn't pick out the pass to Kiefer Moore in the end. I feel probably now he should have gone on his own, just let him go with his left foot. Really comfortable position now if you're England. Gareth Southgate able to play players, get them game time. If you're Wales, you're just holding on here. Still got 20 minutes. Don't want it to be a cricket score.
No. They've got some formidable resources. James gives the ball away. They can ill afford to do that. And then Morrell can only guide the ball as he tried to stop it into the path of Wilson. Rashford's homing in on a third, and Ward saves it with his feet at the near post.
Yeah, it was a good run, wasn't it? I have to say, really good player as well. Got a striker, Wilson just waits for his mate Rashford, who's gone inside him, then outside him. A little bent run behind him and gets the shot away. Ward saves with his feet this time, but Wales, those changes really caused all sorts of problems. Also those 2 goals back to back.
Well, the biggest Wales defeat under Rob Page is in the Euros against Denmark, 4-0 as this corner comes in. Ward collects. Thought about throwing it out, but decides to hold on to it. Maybe sensible with what's happened. 3 goals in 18 minutes it was, 2 in about a minute. Oh, Roberts has put the ball across the face of the Wales penalty area, and Roden just got away with it. And now Allen leads a counter-attack wide to Johnson. Johnson into the penalty area, shoots right-footed, blocked. Ampadu was up alongside him.
play it down the other end.
Rashford is
There's two down.
2 England players down. Rashford is one of them.
Is it Foden?
Yeah, and Foden is the other. Jess Fishlock, what are you making of it now?
I'm still kind of. I feel the same that I've been saying. I just don't think we know enough about what we want to do when we have the ball. We're exposing ourselves just exactly like we just did. Almost opened up for another transition on top of our box that's unnecessary with 3-0 down. And I think we've just been caught in between in all 3 games, in between kind of what we're trying to do and what we want to do, and do we want to play short, do we want to go long? We're just caught in between now.
Yeah,
throughout
because we
the
played Dan
entire
James today and not got in behind with him.
No, and we've not
At
really
all.
played it up to Kiefer to hold the ball either. And that's the threat. If you're going to play certain players for their attributes but then not have a game plan that suits them, you're not going to get anything out of them.
Does that come from Ramsey and Bale being people who've often got Wales out of trouble in the past?
No, that comes from the training ground. It comes from the training ground.
Yeah, I know, but can you just rely on those two?
No, what Jess is saying, like, you know, Dan James is you play him. Rob said it before the game. You play him because he's a threat in behind, but we haven't seen him get in behind.
No.
But there's been opportunities where 1-2 passes and look for that space in behind, especially first half in behind Walker, and it just hasn't materialised, and the ball hasn't even been played more often than not, Rob. So I think it's that sort of that transition when you got the ball into attack and into a threat, even if it doesn't result in a goal, it results in a shot or a cross, something positive which allows you to build momentum against your opponent.
I think too in the second half we saw the change right away in the way that they were pressing us in the second half compared to the first half, right, Nathan? And I'd say that we still then tried to pass it really short under high press. Just go over their press. Go over their press.
Keeper there.
Yeah.
There's a change being made by England. 2-goal Marcus Rashford has been replaced by Jack Grealish. Gets a big hug from his manager Gareth Southgate. Smiles all round. Rashford has really made his presence felt, taking his tally to 15 goals for his country. He's got 3 in this World Cup now. He got 1 against Iran as well, and he's definitely undone Wales. And then you get rid of him and there's Jack Grealish to contend with.
Like Jess said, the squad is so deep, Rob. Some real quality players. Great play, that. Tight spaces.
They've come away with it. Alexander-Arnold spaced down the right hand side. He's got Dan James in front of him though. He's just inside his own half. Goes a little dart into the midfield, feeds it up to Wilson. Roden hung on. Allen was strong in the challenge, so was Morrell, brought down by Alexander-Arnold. 3-0 Wales trail. They're going home in the next couple of days as Harry Wilson replaces Dan James. So Wilson, who started the last game, is on for his Fulham teammate as England burst forward again. This could be the 4th. It's blocked by Ward, and then it's turned wide 3 yards out by Phil Foden, who could have added his second. Bellingham had a chance as well. Good save by Ward initially, then Bellingham flicked it back across and Foden's missed an open goal. And they're being ripped apart almost at will now, Nathan Blake.
Yeah, they're flying forward. I have to say, you know, I said Wales have completely lost their shape as well, Rob. And they're just holding on now, trying to motivate, looking down there. See the centre backs trying to motivate one another, players trying to get hold of one another, but they just need they've not had the threat of attack. It's okay defensively, you can hold on for so long, but we always thought once England get one, they do have the capability to go on and get 2 and 3, which has been the case. But just not enough attack threat from Wales when they've been able to win the ball in transition. They haven't threatened, or it's been too comfortable for the back line of England all game.
Not been able to get in behind them at all. Things we can talk about on Call Rob, 03700 100 110. Your thoughts? What has gone wrong in Doha for this Wales squad? 1 point is all they're going to be going home with, unless we see something ridiculously spectacular in the last 14 minutes, 13 minutes plus added time. Alan Hall down. The attendance 44,297. The majority of them are English, I would say, and they're the noisy ones at the moment. The Red Wall watching in silence. Some of them probably won't be surprised. I think they feared the worst, some of them. But they were doing okay at half-time when it was 0-0. Oh, what's the referee spotted here?
The Welsh player
Joe
down.
Allen is injured, yeah.
He's gone, I think he said.
Yeah, Calvin Phillips has just gone across to him. This will concern Swansea City fans as well. He's played today for the first time since September the 17th. Started again.
Absolutely gutted for the boy.
Alan just had 15 or 20 minutes against Iran when things were falling apart around him, and now he's going to walk off. It's not the World Cup that Joe Allen would have wanted or deserved. It was a hell of a fight for him to get to this position to actually play. The man walking off alongside him, Sean Connolly, was largely responsible for getting him fit. Allen makes way, and it's a World Cup opportunity for one of the future players for Wales, Reuben Colwell of Cardiff City, who's also had a real battle to be fit for this tournament. Not injury with him, a growth spurt. So Reuben Colwell at the age of 20, the youngest member of the Wales squad here in Doha, gets 10 minutes plus added time. But he's not the same player as Joe Allen, you'd have to say. Having said that, Nathan Blake, we might be watching the future of Wales.
Yeah, but again, Rob, a little sorry for it. The boy's an attack-minded player.
Yeah.
Being asked to do a job, and that's all it is, really. Last 10 minutes plus injury time. Can you just sit in there, Ruben, just do a job for us, just shore things up?
Well, Grealish is attacking from the left now into Bellingham. Could get really ugly. Colwell gets his first touch of the ball and hoofs it clear from his own penalty area. And then it's pumped out by Harry Maguire for a Wales throw midway inside the England half. Gianni Infantino, the FIFA General Secretary, is booed when his picture appears on the screen. The arguments will go on about whether this tournament should have been held here. But for all that, the fans who've been here have had a good time. Moore makes a run in behind the England defence. Maguire pulls him down now. Nathan Blake. Jess, you may not have seen Reuben Colwell from 25 yards, but he does know how to score from here.
Yeah, will he take command of this situation? Or is there someone else like Ramsey who's going to...
Well, Harry Wilson is there as well. We've seen him score goals for Wales from this distance.
Yeah.
Seniority.
Yeah, pulling rank, Rob, pulling rank.
Harry Wilson is on his 41st cap. He's got 5 Wales goals. Moving Caldwell, this is his 8th cap, but he does have one Wales goal. So it's Harry Wilson to maybe make the scoreline a little bit more respectable. Wales trailing 3-0 here on BBC Radio Wales Sport. It's a free kick about 11 yards from the England penalty area. Wilson hits it straight against the wall. Bounces off the wall out for a Wales throw on the right hand side. That was poor, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, Rob. Just wanted try and hit the target, hits the wall. It's just not been our night tonight.
Oh, Connor Roberts used Alexander Arnold in his wake then. Moore, left hand side, where you really want him in the middle. He's trying to get in the middle now as Roberts tries to go on the outside of the Liverpool defender. Has to go back to Caldwell, slides it into Moore. Thinks he should have had a free kick. Ref not gives it. May break for Caldwell, who shoots over the top from 20 yards.
Yeah, it's unlucky, isn't it? Decent play by Wales. A little bit of one touch. Just breaks to Ruben Caldwell. Puts his head over it. Strikes across the ball. Just gets it wrong. Just high and wide. Just slashes at it, really. Has to catch that a bit fuller, keep it lower. Kind of like that Casemiro finish for Brazil. Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was rather, wasn't it? Out over his right boot. Wow.
Yeah.
It was like that Pavard one last World Cup. Remember that one?
Yeah.
England fans celebrating. They're staying in Doha. The Red Wall are heading home in the next few days. Left themselves too much to do in this game. Turned up 45 minutes late for the opener after 64 years. And although Bale gave them a highlight with the penalty which secured Wales a point, they're going to go home without a win now. And the first time in 4 major finals that they won't get through the group stage. Did it in 58, of course, when they reached the quarterfinals. Did it in 2016 when they memorably reached the semi-finals of the Euros, and did it last year before Denmark put 4 on them in Amsterdam. Wilson leaves Mepham on the deck, but Rodham was there to spare Mepham's blushes. Roberts has to go back to Ward under pressure from Wilson. Hoists it awkwardly left-footed. Good header by Wilson in field. Breaks to Caldwell. Caldwell drives it out to the right-hand side. Too strong for Ampadu, though. England on 7 points. USA on 5. England on +7 in goals. USA +1. Still leading Iran by a goal to nil and have to take them through into the last 5 minutes here on BBC Radio Wales Sport. This will be our last game from the Qatar World Cup. As Ampadu has probably been, I'd say, Wales' best player in this World Cup. Hoists it forward, wins it, and then plays in Moore, edge of the box. Kiefer Moore shapes the shoot. Pulls it high and wide from the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, he'd done him the first time. I think he thought about going on his left foot. As he got it down, it was a great ball by Ampadu. Just shapes to shoot first. He should have just dragged it the first time across and just hit it with his left foot. As he took another touch wide, it just killed the angle for him.
Really was a spectacular ball that from Ethan.
I'd like to see more of that, wouldn't you?
You really would.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it from him in his early days for Wales. He can spray a ball, especially right to left.
He's good on the ball.
Yeah.
Very good on the ball.
And, those are the sorts of things we're talking about, Rob. Utilise that spray pass right to left. Dan James on the left, in behind. Got players capable of doing these things. Attention to every little detail. If you want to go and win a game against an opponent like England.
Well, Rob Page has got 3 months and 26 days before he has to think about his next lineup. That's Croatia in the Euros. We wonder how many of these players will feature in that game.
Well, I think in this squad, I think there's probably at least 3 or 4 which I don't expect to see again.
Go on then.
I'm not going to give you them now in game time.
Poor Rob, something has to take later.
Oh, Rob, grow up, please.
But no, I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
probably Chris Gunter, these sort of people.
Absolutely, yeah. Johnny Williams,
yeah.
I know who they are. We do have to find players to slot in and bolster this squad again.
Do you think?
Well, the argument has been, is this squad as good as 2016 squad? We've had that discussion a few times on this trip.
Well, it's not, is it?
Well, I don't think so. No, I think you do have very talented youth, but the fact that you've got so many people still in this squad from the 2016 squad kind of says it all, really.
8 of them are in their 3rd tournament with Wales.
Yeah.
Hennessy, Gunter, Davis, Bale, Ramsey, Allen. Johnny
if they're
Esther
playing top level football, fair enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Ben Davis, you wouldn't argue with, would you?
Right. No, absolutely not.
Good challenge by Ampadu. Well, I thought it was, but Ampadu is penalised for a free kick. Referee's just having a word.
It is about rebuilding now for Wales. Okay, a lot of people are going to have their opinion on Bale and Ramsey and things like that, whether they have a part to play or not. That's down to Rob Page and those players themselves, but it is about the future. Don't want to be stood still. The likes of Bale, Ramsey, Davis, all these players have fantastic, given us a fantastic decade or so. But you don't want to be stood still now. You don't want it to be another decade or 20 years before you qualify for another major tournament. You've got to keep building, Rob.
Henderson tries to send Wilson through. Oh, Ward delayed. Wilson's picked it up before the byline. He hesitated then. Danny Ward. Alexander Arnold chips it into the Wales penalty area. Morel is shrugged off the ball when he could have cleared it. Grealish tries to dribble his way through. Robert stops it, going out for corner. And I make it about time. 4 minutes of added time. 4 minutes of Wales's World Cup trip to Qatar remaining. And England looking to pile on the agony at a corner, which Phil Foden is going to take. Beyond everybody, headed back by, well, he was headed back by Maguire and then pushed over the top by his centre-back partner Stones, who probably should have made it 4-0.
Yeah, it's a half volley, 5 yards out, and the defender, was it Rambo, is behind him. Neppens 4 yards off him. He will feel he should have scored there, Rob.
Jess Fishlock, 3 minutes to go. What are your thoughts? How do you sum up this Wales World Cup campaign? Their first for 64 years.
Yeah, it's just been sad. I just feel sad. I just feel disappointed and devastated with all of the different games for different reasons. And you talk about where does this group go now, and Bale and Ramsey. I feel like this is such a bigger issue than just Bale and Ramsey. In each game that we've seen, there's been kind of some fundamental questions regarding who we are, how we want to play, what do we want to look like, and that's not, you can't put that down to one or two players. It is a real collective.
Are we talking about
question.
philosophy, Jess? Is that what you're talking about? A shape, a philosophy, a style, an approach?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's, you say you got 3 months until Rob Page takes this group into the Euros, and in those 3 months he has to figure out who we are again. And with the type of players that we have, who we can be and who we want to be. And he has 3 months to do that, and 3 months to do that going into a new campaign, and then all those games to figure out with these players, can they do it? Can they do what he wants them to do? Can they do what we need them to do?
I think that's a great point. Who we can be, you said, right, Jess? That's a fantastic point.
Exactly.
We're not littered with, the players of, England's quality. So, what are you capable of?
Grealish had a little back header, back heel then. But Wales have defended that. 1 more minute to go. And the agony as far as Wales are concerned will be over. There may be more damage yet though as Grealish dribbles through, tries to set up Wilson, back to goal. Wales have got men there, but they still can't get the ball away, and then Foden shoots, and finally it's scrambled clear by Connor Roberts. There's a Welshman down in the box, it's Roden. And England are finishing as they started, on top, in command. And Wales are hanging on.
Yeah, no doubt. What will be interesting for England is when they come up against the teams who can't keep the ball, Rob. That's proved a problem in the past.
Well, they certainly know the way to the net. And there's the final whistle. The old enemy England have brought Wales's World Cup journey to an end. It will be England and the USA who will be heading into the next round. Wales are going home. They've not really left a significant mark in the sands of Doha, but the journey here after 64 years captured the imagination of a nation. The red wall, the bucket hats have made their presence felt, and the main shining lights of a golden generation have had the chance to just rub shoulders with football's global elite in a way that many of their predecessors simply did not achieve. How many memories will be taken back from Doha? We don't know. What we do know now is that transition has to start here. Wales has to look to the future, having ended their long wait to be part of the biggest global sporting event that the world knows. 2 goals from Marcus Rashford, 1 from Phil Foden has brought an end to Wales's World Cup journey. It's finished. Wales 0, England 3. Wales are going home, but let's be honest, we wouldn't have missed it for the world.